მერე რასაკეთებ? გადმოდის მოუ, რასაკეთებ?
I use cocaine.
Well, Dana White actually did announce some fights. I thought it was going to be an April Fool's thing, but he actually announced Ian Garry will take on Carlos Prates at UFC Kansas City. This was kind of what I expected, especially because Ian Garry's dumbass fucking spoiled it like this morning. He was like, fight news coming soon. And bro, Ian Garry's so fucking gay and retarded. Anyways, so this is a big fight. Obviously, here's the video, but we don't have to react to that. O'Malley Merab, Pena Harrison. I'm gonna rant about this, but we'll start. We'll save the rant for the end. We'll save the rant for the end. We'll start with Machado, Garry versus Prates. So obviously this means Roundtree and Hill is not happening anymore. Unfortunately, sadly, Ian Garry, Carlos Prates, really interesting fight. Really interesting fight. I'm up for it. I'm not an Ian Garry fan. I think he's a cuck. But no, seriously, I'm not an Ian Garry fan. He's a pretty boring fighter. I am a Carlos Prates fan. What's interesting is this is a big jump up for Carlos Prates, like a really big jump up. And Ian Garry, though he's good. This is a tough fight. Honestly, I like this fight a lot because it's not one of those fights where I'm like, bro, Ian Garry's gonna, or dude, Prates is gonna. This is a very close fight. I could honestly see an argument for either guy. If I had to make a sort of a short, not a short notice, but sort of an off my head prediction, I'd probably go with Prates. Dare I say I go with Carlos Prates? I mean, look, Garry has held down some pretty good fighters, man. His grappling has been pretty effective. But at the same time, if you watch Ian Garry fights, he's very, very hittable. He's very hittable. MVP caught him a couple of times. I actually thought MVP won that fight against Ian Garry. MVP caught him a couple of times. Obviously, Shavkat busted his face up. Pause. Shavkat busted his face up a little bit. Like, he's susceptible to getting hit. He's been dropped before by, didn't some Chinese guy drop him, way back, a couple years ago? So he can get hit, Even the Jeff Neal fight, razor close, he was kind of just on the outside. I feel like Prates he's shown to have, a different power, bro. His power is insane. He puts people out cold. It's not even it's not flash knockdown. It's flash knockdowns. It's like flatline KOs, Straight up just flatline KOs. So, dare I say, honestly, Carlos Prates might knock out Ian Garry. Again, it's a really tough fight because Prates, we don't know too much about Prates. I mean, we've never seen him in a 5-rounder. We've never seen him really get super tested in the grappling. We've seen him get hit before. We've seen him face a little bit of adversity against Trevin Giles and stuff. But, dude, Garry, that's a jump up, man, for Prates. But I like this fight a lot. It's the new main event of Kansas. I think the co-main event of that card is Anthony Smith. I hate Anthony Smith, and I can't wait for him to retire. I'm actually probably going to do a celebration video when he retires, so be on the lookout for that. But moving on to the quote-unquote big announcements. This is oh my God. So, Merab Dvalishvili versus Sean O'Malley 2 has been announced. A fight that no one asked for, a fight that nobody wants, a fight that nobody's excited for. And then Kayla Harrison versus Juliana Pena, right? Now, I'm okay with this fight because, if we have to have a women's fight, fine. I actually don't mind Kayla Harrison. I actually think she's dude, Pena's face, bro. She looks like fucking, I don't even know her, the Crimson Chin times 1,000, bro. She's the Latina Crimson Chin. But, bro, Kayla Harrison, Pena, this could be hilariously kind of entertaining, or this could be hilariously bad, or both. It could be so bad that it's good, or it's one of those fights where I'm kind of, I don't know, I'm not really sure how this fight is really going to go. I'm picking Harrison, but it's women's MMA, so you never know. Like Pena could like head kick KO Kayla Harrison, and then that could be it. So overall, though, I want Kayla Harrison to win. I like Kayla Harrison. She's pretty. She's got a good personality. She's pretty exciting. I mean, for a women's fighter. Like the Holly Holm fight was pretty good. She just beat the shit out of Holly Holm. Her last fight was shit, but I think this fight could be all right. But there's not too much to say about this one, to be honest. There's a lot to say about this one, though. Now, I want to preface this. I want to preface this by saying I like Sean O'Malley and I like Merab. I like both of these guys a lot. But I do not want this fight whatsoever. And I know there's like a bunch of you guys that are watching that are in complete agreements with me, or agreements. Agreements is whatever I don't want this. I'm sorry for yelling. I don't want this fucking fight. I don't know anybody except for Kyle from the Nelk Boys or fucking Aiden Ross that wants this fight. I don't know anybody on the planet, on God's green earth, that wants this fight. Why? We don't need a rematch. We don't. Sean O'Malley has one title defense, one successful title defense, and it's against Marlon Cheeto Vera, by the way, the walking human embodiment of a punching bag, right? One title defense. He loses to Merab in a pretty clear fight, in my opinion. Like, it was clearly like, oh yeah, that's Merab's fight. He loses to Merab. It wasn't even like a razor close fight or anything. Merab goes on to defend his belt. Sean O'Malley, what does he do? He just sits on the sidelines, and they reward him with a title shot. The UFC is not a real fucking business. It's not a real sport, and it never will be because of bullshit like this. Like, what is the point? What is the point of Peter Yan going on a resurgence and beating two good contenders? Or what is the point? Like, it should have been Sean O'Malley versus Peter Yan like 2 fucking months ago. The winner could have faced Merab at UFC 317 or 318. Merab, he could have fought Pantoja. Or he could have just waited. Like, it's not like Merab doesn't need to fight. Like, as much as I love Merab as a fighter, I'm not clamoring to see a Merab fight. I'm not like, I'm chomping at the bit. I need to see another Merab fight. Come on, bro. And it's like the UFC, it's not a real business. It's not a real sport. I know O'Malley is still number 1 ranked, but that's because they keep him number 1 ranked. It's the same with Gaethje still being number 3 ranked. Like, the rankings don't even mean anything because Khalil Roundtree got a title shot being number fucking 7 ranked or number 8 ranked. So the rankings don't even mean shit anyways. But nobody wants this fight. Honestly, yes, could O'Malley win a rematch? Sure. And if he wins, then what? If O'Malley wins, then what? Ooh, that O'Malley versus who? There's no other bantamweights waiting. At least if you would have done O'Malley versus Peter Yan, winner could be the clear number 1 contender. And then in the meantime, you obviously have Figueiredo versus Sandhagen coming up. Maybe the winner of that could face Umar, or maybe Umar can just go fuck off and retire in Dagestan. Fuck Umar, right? No, I'm kidding. Umar's he's a cool little fighter, but in all seriousness, like, what I'm trying to say is nobody wants this fight. I'm not excited for it. I don't give a fuck about this fight. It's not going to sell any fucking tickets. I'm sorry. They need to really beef up this card if they think it's going to sell, because having a women's MMA co-main event with a main event of a Merab fight. Sorry, I love Merab, but a Merab main event is not. And O'Malley is not as big of a star as the UFC thinks. They got to beef this card up, but honestly, man, this is just another example of the UFC just being terrible at matchmaking fights, guys. Another example. Like, you could have done Merab Pantoja. Obviously Pantoja has no clear contenders either at flyweight, And Merab I'm retiring. I'm gonna become a boxing channel. No, honestly, boxing sucks too, bro. Let me know what you guys think. Are you guys excited for these fights? Like, honestly, I think the best fight that's been announced, honestly, is Prates Garry, just because of how close I think it is. I think it's a really close fight, honestly, and I'm excited. Obviously, I'm a Carlos Prates fan. I'm not an Ian Garry fan at all. I don't know any Ian Garry. I've never actually ever seen an Ian Garry fan ever. Like, not in a comment section, anywhere. I've never seen like, yo, let's go Ian Garry fight week. I've never even seen that ever, bro. So Ian Garry has zero fans, but O'Malley Merab, man, what the fuck? Who wants it? Like, who honestly wants this? Who wants O'Malley Merab? Even if it ends up being a good fight, it's just like, could O'Malley win a rematch? Sure. Could Merab, like, it's not like with Pereira, he's getting a rematch, right? Okay, he defended his belt like 2 or 3 times, though. That's different. Against good contenders as well. O'Malley has one title defense. One title defense. And it was against a bum, Cheeto Vera. And then now he gets a... But fuck Peter Yan, right? Fuck Peter Yan. Fuck. Honestly, what do you guys think of the announcement? I almost wish it was an April Fool's prank, because, this was to me, as announcements go, I mean, he's done better. He's done better announcements. So make sure you guys like and sub. Become a member in the description. These fights are, we and it's not like I'm not surprised by it either. I knew that they were gonna book these fights, but whatever. See you guys. I am excited for Prates Garry though, I guess. Peace.